back with another episode of Ready to Believe. I am Jamie Pale Rider, as always. I am joined by
Rob Williams, sort of.
sort of Rob Williams.
Sort of Rob Williams. My voice is gone today. I'm not going to be doing a lot of talking.
You just sound extra husky.
I sound extra bullseye for some reason.
Extra bullseye. Yeah, he's in character, folks.
I'm in character.
Dedication. Dude, you got the bullseye shirt and everything. Look at that.
We'll stick with that.
Character.
That's the story.
Casual bullseye. He's got a different hat. And we have a very special guest today. We are going to be talking Ghostbusters, everything. Lore, gear, characters, the whole gamut with Doc himself from Tools and Talent. Thank you so much for joining us, Doc.
Hey, everybody. How we doing?
I'm great. How's everybody doing in the chat? I think we've established how Rob is doing, which is husky and very much bullseye. Oh, man, look at the chat go already. So, Doc, if it's cool with you too, would you be okay taking any potential questions from our lovely chat?
Sure, of course.
Hell yeah. Okay. So if you do have any questions for Doc, pop them in the chat, and we will proceed to screen them for profanity, and we will have Doc answer them.
Is that screening only for profanity or excluding profanity?
Yeah, we have a reverse filter. It only gets through if you use profanity.
Excellent.
So we have Tony in the house. Thank you, Tony, for joining us as always. I will cancel the search party. Again, you were super early, and I appreciate it. Tony is a fellow kind of Eastern person. Oh, there's Peachy K. I didn't even need to summon Chris with... Oh, yeah. Rob is summoning Tony.
Yeah, I'm summoning Tony.
I'm summoning Kristine. We have VJ Baby in the house as always. Thank you so much for joining us. Tony, before we started, I started chuckling because I saw this in the chat. Like, I understood that reference. And Janos Poha is one of my favorite characters. And I love this. Look at this. Ghost One More Mod is in the house.
There
I don't know if we've caught you live before. I know we are a little bit early, so maybe it's because you're on the East Coast. I actually don't know where you're from, and I apologize for that. Or maybe I don't. But thank you so much for joining us live. It's so cool to see you. There it is.
Yeah, he's an East Coaster like me.
Hell yeah. What is with everybody on the East Coast? I'm jealous. You guys are that much closer to New York and the Firehouse than I am.
Oh yeah.
We have Pip in the house. Thank you so much for joining us, Pip. We need...
I'm working on it.
Pip Squeak. So, you know what? I thought about it beforehand when I was prepping for the show. I'm like, oh, I got to get my mini puffed out to summon Kristine. And I'm like, I must have a Slimer to hand. I do. 1 second.
There you go.
Oh my God. So Rob...
There you go.
Is outdoing me. But
Nice.
Pip, the president of the Slimer fan club, has been summoned officially. There you are. East Coast Maryland. Oh man. Yeah. So thank you everyone for joining us live. This is so much fun. I love having people in the chat with us while we do this. It's so nice to see people that we don't normally get to see. And yeah, it's a little bit tough. Like I only ended work 45 minutes ago. So normally we give ourselves a little bit more buffer time. We're on Vancouver time. But yeah, this is so exciting. Yeah, we're just going to jump right in. So I don't know about you guys, but we've been partnered with Doc for a little bit through Tools and Talent, but I want to know more about it. So Doc, I'm just going to start firing questions at you if that's cool. And again, if there's anybody in the chat that has questions, pop them in there, and we'll do our best to be diligent about watching that. First, just how did Tools and Talent come about? Like, where did that come from?
Well, I'm sure you can kind of figure out the mythos of the name if you apply a little bit of brain power to it. So yeah, basically had the original HasLab release and was messing around with it. My background is in the trade, so what's funny about not only being a lifelong Ghostbusters fan, but getting into the trades and working in construction, you start to realize a lot of these materials are real. And a lot of these things are functional and were actually designed to be used for their fictional purpose, but they actually have applications in the real world. So with that, when I started building my own mods and assembling my own uniform, it became very addictive, as both of you know. And from there is basically setting stuff up. Went to a couple cons. People were really impressed. Everybody kept asking, where do you buy that stuff? Where do you get that stuff from? And basically was sitting on the couch with my wife one night, and she's like, why don't you start selling some of the stuff? And I was like, I don't know. I don't want to get into that. I got enough going on. I'm busy enough. And she's like, well, I think people really like it, and it's pretty obvious they do. So she was definitely pushed me in the right direction to just do it. So yeah, and I think it's only been doing it. This is like my first full year. Last year was kind of the start of everything, and yeah, just put some stuff up and went, we'll see what happens. And then some of that started to sell, and I said, oh, that's pretty cool. Put some more stuff up and some more stuff and more sold, and started going to more cons and connecting with different people. And here we are now. We're rip roaring with it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Congratulations. It's 100% evident when you have the stuff in hand, exactly why it's rip roaring. And it made it a very easy conversation on my part and on Rob's part when you reached out to kind of join forces.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
yeah, it's been so much fun. And yeah, for Rob and I, like we're having a blast, and we're involving more of our crew in the Lower
Excellent.
Mainland area. Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, I took a tact with it where, I want to build things that I can use hard, that can be worn, that are, as realistic as possible. Yes, exactly. Yeah. Well, they're right more times than not, so it's just easy to say yes. But yeah, 100% just like, yeah, this is a cool toy. How do I make it more than a toy? This is a cool, piece of kit. How do I make this an actual piece of kit? So, like, for example, my belts. There's no reason for that belt to be that way, but that is a real 100% strength reinforced military grade belt. You can put the kitchen sink on it. It's not going to fall apart. But that's the way I like everything. And, overkill is underrated as far as I'm concerned.
There's no such thing as overkill, especially when it comes to how much stuff you can cram on a Ghostbusters belt.
Correct. Well, you need all that space.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I actually came to the realization this weekend when we were at a con. I think I've officially run out of real estate on my belt, and I haven't actually had my trap on my belt yet. I have the holster, but I have it in a spot where I'm like, I feel like if I did have a trap on the holster where it's placed, it would be colliding with my pack. So I need to rejig my belt. Because yeah, there's so much stuff you can put on there. Like if you're going with like different scenes, like scene to scene or movie to movie, the variation is crazy.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, a lot of that thought went behind kind of the divisions and things I went into with the Ecto Ordnance, right? So you want to have people that are specialized in certain things. You got to have death trappers, right? People that are focused on what are they doing? Their core mission is to go in and contain and trap and close down portals, to close down rifts, and to move those entities out. And then you're going to have gunners, which would be your, spectral forces, the guys that are just there to fire away and keep things suppressed. And then you got somebody who's got to be calling the shots in the background to make sure you got force protection and stuff. And that's your dimensional guard. So I kind of built everything off of that squad mentality of like, everyone should be capable and be able to handle, ghost busting on their own and be able to get in and take down things, but you need to have specialized roles to keep things moving, because it is really hard to, and if you notice, they're always in teams, they're always in groups in the movies and the cartoons and the comics for a reason, because you can't throw a trap, zap a ghost, throw a capture stream on them, lower them down, and everything in any kind of like consistent manner. So when it comes to rigging your belt up though, I always you got to go with like a core offering, right?
Absolutely.
So I think every Ghostbuster should have a PKE. I do think every Ghostbuster should have a trap. The location of the trap, though, I always go on my left side, opposite of the Neutrona wand. Because if you have it on
Yes.
your right side, it's going to get caught up on stuff.
Agreed.
So basically, I have to my left going off, I'll have my belt gizmo with my trap in the middle, and then the daughter board around the back of the trap.
Nice.
And that's pretty much taking up that side, and then the right is where it gets goofy.
Right. See, and you've actually anticipated my next question, which is, what is your preferred belt loadout? So I love that, because it's once you realize how little real estate is there and how much variety is available to you, it takes some thought of like, what do you put on and what do you leave off?
Yeah. So my my generic loadout is everything in the kitchen sink. The one thing I will omit from time to time are the goggles. Because two things I'll omit: goggles and a pedal for the trap.
Oh, yeah.
But I usually rig that in a way that it'll hang nice and I can use it.
100%. So we actually have a question in the chat from Peachy Chris. I've got it up on the screen there, but Doc, is this something you've been able to do full time or want to do full time? Is that in the cards for you?
So, like everybody else currently talking on this podcast, we would love to do this full time.
Right.
And that's the dream, right? That's the goal.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll ever get there, but the idea behind Tools and Talent, and the reason it's not necessarily just a hardcore Ghostbusters name, although it is, I have a lot of other franchises I'm going to dip my toes into that I have passions for too. So really the paranormal investigator and eliminator portion of this is Ecto Ordnance, right? That's kind of that flagship. So Ecto Ordnance is all things Ghostbusters. There might be another one on the horizons, and might be another one on the horizon. So the idea would be, like any business, if you can diversify enough things, that might bring in enough revenue to keep you going so you wouldn't have to have a day job. But probably not. Like most people that run these prop building shops or run an Etsy shop, it is not a sole source of income, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I've got a question, actually. Besides the Ghostbuster stuff, we are very involved in 501st Rebel Legion building costumes when it comes to Star Wars. So we're always having to connect with prop builders and people who are doing this out of their garage, out of their it's a second job. And I'm just wondering, like, sometimes when we're working with or when we're purchasing from a prop builder, there are some challenges that facing as a purchaser, and there's some challenges as the prop builder. What are some of the things that have helped you make your build make you feel successful, or have helped the business grow, that you feel that other prop builders should kind of buy into or incorporate in their business model?
Well, I mean, put out quality products, stand behind your products, treat people the way you want to be treated, general business things. Word of mouth. I don't do any advertisement. Everything is done organically for me. People like yourselves, we have a nice little group of ambassadors now for Ecto Ordnance and Tools and Talent. Yeah, we got some. Talking about talent, that core group of us is pretty fantastic, and I'm lucky and privileged to be working with you guys in this kind of stuff. So for prop makers, how do you do it? You kind of run it like any business. You try to stay within your budget and not overextend yourself, and look forward to kind of the ebbs and flow of the year. Clearly Halloween's big for us. I've been going full tilt crazy. Everyone and their brother messages you 2 days before Halloween and says, so I live in Alaska. I'd really like to get my full kit set up. Is there any way for me to get it? It's like, yeah, I don't know. If you get on a plane and you fly to the East Coast, maybe we can work something out. So yeah. And on that note, even people going to prop builders and stuff, we are humans. Most of us are one-man shops. So our lead times are real. That's why we put them up there. And our instructions are also real. That's why we put them up there. So if you're just nice to your prop builder and to your Etsy shop, they'll usually treat you pretty good. It'll get you a long way. So the advice would be that have a couple core offerings that you start with and branch out from there. Some people get riddled with, I have to do everything. I have to offer everything everybody else offers. But that's kind of like, I don't know, like going to a cheesecake factory or something. Yeah, they got 400 things on the menu, but are any of them really good?
I heard cheesecake's good.
Yeah, probably.
I would hope so.
So like with that, I would say that'd be the good advice for anybody starting one of those stores is, or prop building is do something you're passionate about. So you actually love doing it, and then pick a couple core offerings and do them well.
Awesome. Yeah. Super good advice. I love Pip. We will fill you in on what the different roles are. Pip is local to us. She's our resident engineering core. So yeah, I'm excited to share ideas.
Definitely
Ghost Roll More Mod. I love this solution. Gray belt setup and black belt setup. Just have 2 loadouts ready to go.
Yeah, bandolier it as well.
Yeah, I mean, if there are any video gamers in the crowd or on this podcast, loadouts are absolutely a thing that are always in the back of my mind. I love that idea.
Go full Rob Liefeld.
That's kind of
God, just belts and pouches and tiny feet
around the leg, around the arm.
Yeah.
That's the way I think about it too. Because if you look at what they were wearing in Ghostbusters, the video game, each guy's self-sufficient in that, right? What's on their belt is what they need to get everything done. So everybody's got a belt gizmo. Everybody's got the lifeguard system, the pass system. Everybody has a trap. Everybody's got a PKE. Everybody's got a leg hose. So that's always kind of like what I look at is like, what would I have to get this done? Also, again, being from construction background, I'm used to having my waist completely loaded down with tools.
Yeah, the giant tool belt, eh?
Oh yeah. No, you gotta be ready for everything, and you don't want to be walking back to your tool crib every 5 minutes.
Exactly.
Proof of concept and the new black belt. Me and my wife actually ran in a 5K for St. Patrick's Day this year, fully geared up. I had a back, my full
back
belt
and everything.
Yep, I even wore freaking combat boots, which was a mistake. But yeah, the belt lasted through that, so I can assure it'll get you through a con.
And that's why Rob and I, when we do our reviews and our tests of that stuff, we do it on site. It's not just in a sterile environment. I need to take it to an event.
I'm not doing no 10K run. Sorry.
No, yeah, sorry.
It was a 5K. But
a run fully geared is great. You know what? We locally do have a charity event for the BC Lung Association. It is a stair climb of a skyscraper, and one day I would like to do the stair climb a la Ghostbusters 1 in full gear, but I would probably die.
So, fun thing, we go to New York a couple times a year, fully geared up. So we go for Ghostbusters Day, and we'll usually hit up Comic-Con. Me and my wife, completely rigged to the hilt, going upstairs in a hotel because they're all high rises. We've made it. I think we went down about 10 stories. And my wife looked at me and she's like, "This was awesome. Let's get on the elevator." I'm like, good call. Good call. Let's go over there. But there's nothing funnier than getting out on an elevator with a full rig and having someone look at you and the caution hit their face of like, "Is everything okay?" And you just got to hit them with, somebody saw a cockroach. You're just doing just walking through and seeing what's going on, or routine spook check, but everyone just stops for a second because you look so official, and they're just like, you're like, "Yep, it's cool."
I'm still waiting for someone to hit me with the "What are you supposed to be? Some kind of cosmonaut?" line.
Yeah, and they do, because there's nothing better than rocking around in New York as a Ghostbuster. First of all, as you guys know, anywhere you go as a Ghostbuster, people are happy to see you.
Absolutely.
It is like the one guiding light through everything. It doesn't matter who you are or where you are. If you're walking around as a Ghostbuster, people are pumped.
Yeah.
But it is very special in New York. Like
Oh yeah.
all of the cops, all of the people directing traffic, anyone in a garbage truck will stop. Like you're going to get yelled at from every corner, no matter
I love
what's
that.
going on when you're on the streets as a Ghostbuster in New York.
Yeah. That's something that I've had a lot of fun kind of, because I've walked around crowded buildings as a stormtrooper, as a Jedi, and as a Ghostbuster. And it's Rob, I don't know about you, but I would almost say that we get more excited people yelling at us as Ghostbusters than any Star Wars costume.
Yeah, it depends. I mean, it's easier. Like, for example, remember in Victoria, we were driving and we were in the Ghostbusters costume. The car pulled up beside us and we're hooting and hollering, "Hey, Ghostbusters!" And
Yeah.
but you can't drive in a stormtrooper costume. But
No.
still,
No, that's pretty reckless.
Yeah,
and painful.
And
Ask
painful.
me
Yeah.
how I know.
Yeah.
but yeah, there's a more of a friendly atmosphere with a Ghostbuster.
Yeah,
Definitely.
it's a lot of fun just to walk around and be, and like old people, young people, like
Yeah.
it doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah, because it spans everybody. Yeah, we just went out to Salem, which is a crazy time of year to go to Salem,
Bucket
in
list.
full ecto ordnance gear a couple weekends ago. So there was a big fair out on their commons green. There's a bunch of vendors and everything like that. So we just show up. There happened to be a zombie walk going on that day. So like 500 people that were going to be trudging through Salem, not to mention all the other normal people that were there. So we just rock up, and my wife's got the PKE out, and she's walking up to people and like poking their arms to see if they're real or not. And we're scanning kids as they walk by. And yeah, I mean, everybody, they're having a great time. We're having a good time. We take a bunch of pictures. We were promoting the story for Ecto Ordnance. And when people see you from 100 feet away, it's Ghostbuster. You're like, yep. People just start singing it. People hit you with lines like, we do a couple parades a year, and without a doubt, somebody will just lean way over a guardrail and be like, "Where do those stairs go?" They go up.
They go up. I love that. We have another question from the chat from our good friend Tony, asking about V-hook systems. Is that going to be coming up in the offering for the new HasLab?
V-hook systems are live right now. The difference for my V-hook and other people's V-hooks is you do not have to mod your wand. So you keep the V-hook that's already on your wand. But those are live on my website, toolsandtalentprops.com, and there are some on Etsy right now. Went through a bunch of iterations on those. It comes with a adjustable cant. For those not familiar what that means, it's basically a holster angle. So you can go with a traditional cant, which is more of Ghostbusters 1, or you can go with a modified cant, which is more Ghostbusters 2, Ecto Ordnance Gunslinger version. So you can, dare I say it, draw your wand and holster it.
Oh, that sounds tempting.
That's always a competition when we're at a con.
Yeah.
Me and Hose knows just how many times you can get the wand reholstered on the first try.
Yeah.
God, it's way harder than you would think.
Yeah, I've built over 1,000 hoses now, and I fit all of them, so I'm pretty good at it.
Nice.
The Ghostbuster Olympics.
Yeah,
it's totally Ghostbusters Olympics.
I did it one year. I called it the Nice Shooting Text Challenge, and I passed it around to some bunch of Ghostbusters I know. And my buddy actually out in California did like the best video for it. It was him. I think he might have been at San Diego Comic-Con or not, but he was in front of an Ecto one, and you see him and he draws it, and then you see him going to put it back, and there's this big tight angle that zooms way in, and then you can see his wife's hand come in and holster it for him. But it was done perfectly and dramatically. You're like, oh, he's doing it. And
amazing.
He didn't do that.
I love that.
Polish for a second.
Hey, we don't judge.
Yeah, no, just he wasn't the second before that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, it's continuity error. Those happen all the time in movies, right? A quick check-in with the chat. Katie Dukeman in the house. Thank you for joining us, Katie. Also, hey, weirdos.
Hey, weirdos.
And the Charm City Ghostbusters. Dude, I just saw your guys' post on your Halloween setup coming up.
How incredible is
That's
that?
amazing work, guys. Like
I'm
that's
loving that logo, by the way. Very
tip top. Yeah,
fancy, very
that logo's amazing.
Baltimore. Yeah. Or I
Thank you
should
guys
say,
so much
yeah.
for joining us. I don't know how many Ghostbusters there are watching as part of that right now, but yeah, we appreciate you all joining us here. This is so much fun. Yeah, I cannot imagine going to Salem in October. That's a huge bucket list item. So yeah, that sounds like so much fun.
Salem's a great place. It's great year round too. Halloween is absolutely insane, so you just have to mentally prepare yourself for what you're about to do because I don't
Yeah.
know. It's almost like a concert where your feet sort of touch the ground like after the lights go down. Like
Oh,
everybody
yeah.
just rushes where you are. It's kind of like that. There's a sea of people there. You can get out of it, but if you're going there to do certain things, like there's lines for stuff and it gets kind of crazy. So off season's definitely the best time to go experience like a lot of the local shops and stuff at Salem. But Halloween is an experience in itself. You just have to dive right in and resist as little as possible. But
Right.
they have a really cool, actually, you guys know the real nerd buster Hey Archer.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So he got married at this really old hotel that's down there. And this
Oh,
hotel has a grand ballroom. And in that grand ballroom, I'm telling you, it is the Sedgwick. It has the chandeliers, it has the wainscoting, it has the bar in the same spot. Like it is the Sedgwick Hotel ballroom. So
That's
there
so
was a
cool.
book fair there maybe 3 months ago. And me and my wife were just like, we'll go check it out. And we were there as Ghostbusters again, just in Salem randomly. And you walk in and you're like, no way. It even had like the little easel out front of it with the event's name on it. It was like the midnight buffet.
Yeah.
So I'll send you guys some pictures, but
Please do.
I have ideas of next year doing a meetup there of just Ghostbusters.
Oh my God.
In there
that'd be awesome.
just to do photo ops, have a big mod day where people can come in and we can work on their packs and I'll bring a bunch of things we could sell them. Like you probably something you like pre-register to do. And then do a photo op of like, all right, we're gonna do lineup. Who wants to do tablecloth pulls?
yeah.
Leave the flowers up. Who wants
Please.
to have the trap underneath the chandelier? Who wants to, that all of us have different slimers and stuff we could bring, but that's something in the back burner. That's like, yeah, we got to do that.
It's number one with a bullet for me. I would need to get a photo op doing the tablecloth pull. That's God. Yeah. That'd be so much fun. There's so many things you could do with a ballroom that looks like that. God, that'd be awesome. Yes.
Yeah,
please send us photos.
Period. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Have you guys noticed that there's always one hotel in every major city that has the haunting? Like we have one in the Hotel Vancouver. There's actually a big picture.
Yeah, in the Fairmont.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a big old hotel on the island too that is apparently haunted.
Oh, which one?
The Empress.
The Empress has a haunting?
Apparently.
I've been there so many times. I didn't know that.
Dude, you didn't see the ghost?
No. No.
It's a class one.
It looks like it's haunted. Come on.
Yeah, even Pip's saying the Empress.
When you walk into buildings and they predate, your country, you're like, oh, right. Yeah. This was built in 1755. Yeah, there's probably ghosts here. That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's not hard for Canada. We're what 150 or something like that.
We're over 150. We're pretty young country.
Pretty young.
But we do have the Fairmont downtown does advertise that they have a ghost. They're very proud of that.
Yeah.
It's the Red Lady.
Nice.
Yeah, I would
it's the thing in New England. They don't tear down anything. So
that's awesome.
It is awesome. It is awesome. It's also, dear God, man, we could fix something from time to time. Like you go out to the West Coast and you're like, hey, look at these like doors open and things are made of glass and metal and like the lights work. This is awesome. Look, they just built new stuff here. And you go to their old section of town and it's like 1955. You're like, yeah, that's Old Town. You're like, because it's from the 50s. They're like, yeah, the 1950s. Like, yeah, Old Town. Right.
Nice. Sounds like Vancouver right there.
Right. Well, the weirdos are planning on staying at the Empress very soon. Make sure you bring your PKE meter. Bring an EMF, maybe some cameras for some little ghost photography, maybe a UV light or two. Yeah, go prepared. That'll be awesome.
Fun fact, I've done a fashion show at the Empress at the age of 6 or 7.
I didn't
ran
know you were a young
I did a
fashion model.
catwalk as a kid model in the Empress. I'm not kidding. Yeah,
Well,
I was
dude, look at
Zoolander
those-
Jr.
You got to go back through those old photos now and see if there's ghosts in the background, dude.
What I was wearing was pretty scary. A ghost writing book, yes.
Yeah,
Gotta go whole
you gotta-
phasmophobia.
You got to cover. You got to be able to identify that ghost. Dude, we haven't even. I've prepared so many questions, but like this has already been such a blast. We're gonna keep watching the chat, but I do want to get to some questions here. Doc, what would you say your entry point to the Ghostbusters fandom was?
Okay. So the year was 1984. November 21st. I was born. I don't remember the first time I saw Ghostbusters. It's just been in my life as long as I can remember. And it was just always there and on. I'm guessing like you guys, I had a movie rental place within a bike ride away. And I would go down there, and if I was with my parents, they'd be like, "You're not getting Ghostbusters again." I'm like, no, I'm getting Ghostbusters again. That's what we're getting. So it would be Ghostbusters and then another movie of something that we hadn't seen, but I would always get Ghostbusters. And I remember maybe being like, I don't know, 9 or 10, and my VCR ate the Ghostbusters tape.
Oh,
yeah. And I went down there and I sucked it up, and the movie store's owner's name was Tom. He was a super nice guy. I went and I was like, "Hey man, Tom, I'm sorry. I broke Ghostbusters." And he was like, and he put his hand on my shoulder and he goes, "Danny, you've bought that movie about 100 times by now." I went, "Oh, okay. So that means I'm not in trouble." He goes, "Not only are you not in trouble, I'm going to get a new one here for Friday." And I was like, sweet.
That's
Good
awesome.
deal.
I miss old video rental places.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
God.
Basing everything off a cover or a recommendation, you never knew what you're getting. I mean, same was with albums and CDs back in the day too. You'd just be like, that cover's cool. I'm getting that.
Right.
And why did you get Iron Maiden? Because it was awesome looking.
Because
I
it's
didn't know what the
awesome.
music's going to be.
Yeah.
So that was my entry, and also being at the perfect age when Ghostbusters 2 came out. So I saw that in theaters, and
awesome.
They didn't do so much merch on the first one, but boy, did they do it on the second one. So I had the roller skating rink Ghostbusters birthday. I got the flight suit. I got the Kenner trap. Proton pack, I think, came around Christmas. But yeah, I just, spent a lot of days using I lived in a split level. So like, you walked in and you walk down to the basement, you walk up to the top stairs. So we had that storage area underneath the staircase. That was my firehouse. So my pack, my flight suit would go in there, and then I would subsequently get a call, go out, bust the dog, which was the ghost, and then return all my equipment. So yeah, it's crazy. I'm 40 now, but I've just been doing this my entire life, and somehow I figured out how to do it with a business.
I mean, that's the dream, right? And I feel like it's important to keep that whimsical nature in your life. Like it keeps you young and excited and happy. You have things to look forward to. Yeah, I'm always looking forward to the next kind of event where we could get geared up, Star Wars, Ghostbusters, whatever, and just go out and be silly for a little bit.
That's the great thing about cosplaying in general these days and charity events is, we get to go out and have some fun and hang out with our buddies, and then usually raise some money for a good cause. So, I mean, everybody wins.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Next question I have for you, Doc. Now you said you've been watching the show. Do you have a favorite Real Ghostbusters episode?
I'd probably go with the whole story arc with the Boogeyman. Oh, that terrified me as a kid.
And dude, how could it not?
I mean, there was a lot of nightmare fuel in the 80s, but whatever the heck the Boogeyman was was absolutely terrifying. I really liked the I forget what they're called now, but the anti-Ghostbusters, the Human Busters,
Yeah.
with the proton pack shot slime and they carried the Ghostbusters away on their backs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. That was Bizarro Ghostbusters. That was fun. Yeah, I mean, I loved a lot of those. But yeah, I think the Bizarro Ghostbusters and anything with the boogeyman in it was pretty hard.
Nice.
I'm sorry, I'm reading Ghost One More Mod.
Yes. Yeah, I put this up on the screen. I love this. For years was only exposed to my dad's VHS recording off TV. He purposely cut out the ghost floating scene over the bed.
Never understood it. All that stuff went right over my head as a kid.
Right?
Like most
Same
things
here.
in the 80s. It was fine because none of it was overt. It was just kind of like, oh, that was weird, right? Yeah. And then he's in his bed and he's kicking. And that poor ghost was torturing him.
Right? He's taking his pants off. That's rude.
So rude.
The pain, the torture, please.
Yes, no.
Stop.
Right?
Damn you, succubus.
Yeah.
So many things that got repeated that you just didn't know what was going on. I mean,
yeah.
Parents were on the couch, kids were on the floor. They would laugh at something. You'd get the cue and laugh. They'd look at you and go, why are you laughing at that? And you'd go, I don't know. Everybody else was laughing.
Yeah. 100%. It's one thing to watch Ghostbusters as a kid and enjoy it, but it's a very different experience to watch it as an adult when, especially the first one, when you start to catch almost like throwaway lines, like what a crime. Peter talking about nothing happening in Dana's bedroom, that kind of stuff that just
good.
Yeah. Oh, good. Yeah. And yeah, as an adult, you're like, there's a lot.
What about Egon saying, I think she's more interested in my epididymis?
Epididymis. Yep.
And Venkman has a blank vacant look on his face.
Yes.
Which I
kind
had
of
like, yeah, I don't know what the hell that is, but okay.
Yeah, I'm Googling epididymis here right now.
Do it. Read it. Read the definition to us verbatim live on YouTube.
Spell it right now. Epididymis. A painful swelling of the epididymitis.
No,
that's
breeding.
Okay, that's epididymitis. Okay, here we go.
Okay, as Rob Googles, we're going to get to another question from the crew here. Oh, Rob has pictures.
Exactly.
Not pictures. No, I've stopped on that.
Okay, Rob, would you care to enlighten us?
It is the coiled tube behind the testicle that stores and helps sperm mature. It's usually caused by, the disease is caused by a bacterial infection that can be triggered by various conditions, including sexually transmitted infections, urinary tract infections, enlarged prostate, and urologic procedures.
And class 5 free-flowing vapors.
Right?
Yes, but the flowers are still standing, so that's good.
There you go. Now nobody has an excuse to not laugh
at that
when you watch that scene. No excuses now.
I'm learning something every day.
Yes, exactly. It's educational.
I'll bring it up with the kids next week.
So we do have another question for you, Doc, before we move on here. Any interesting challenges you've faced making a prop that you're particularly proud of overcoming? That's an awesome question. I love that.
I'd say pretty much you got to meet everybody at the level they're at. So when you're building a prop that requires any kind of modification, or you're building a prop that requires someone to use that as a starting off point to build something else, the hardest part of all that is conveying and making it as user-friendly and easy as possible. So every time that I'm able to wrap up a build with instructions, give it to someone cold that knows basically nothing about Ghostbusters, or they're not mechanically inclined, and they can get through it and they can follow it. It's like, cool, great. That's always a good feeling. I love getting that idea of going, I can make this easier if I do this. I can make this more user-friendly if I do this. And that's kind of 90% of the mods are that, because not everybody is a carpenter. Not everybody's an electrician. Not everybody has a background in metalworking or anything. So that's always hard to overcome. And yeah, you just try to do the best you can and provide all the instructions you can. I can't stress it enough. Please read the instructions. There's videos. These nice gentlemen I'm talking to right now have some videos. But yeah, you definitely can't please everybody. I did get a message yesterday of how do you work your belt? And I said, I'm confused. In what regards? It's just I don't know how to clasp it. Do you have a video on that? And I said, actually, I do. So I sent him your video, Jamie.
Oh, nice.
There
That's
you
awesome,
go, Jamie.
Well, that's exactly it. Like that's one of the features that I really like about the belt.
We went through so many different kinds of hardware until I got one that was
Right?
reinforced that would hold it and not come apart.
I had my first belt did come off accidentally a couple times. Maybe there was a ghost. I don't know, but it actually came unhooked.
Yeah.
And just fell away. And like, there's no chance of that happening with yours, but it takes some doing to get on for sure. Yeah, you have to twist it on.
That's why all the rivets are reinforced. I mean, it's as close as you can get to a replica World War II belt anywhere. We used all the same hardware. We tried to source all the same materials. So you can pretty much do anything with that thing. You pull a car with it.
Yeah, I believe it. Those things are tough, man. Oh, are we pulling an Ecto?
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for the answer from Peachy Gris. Thanks for the question as well. So Tony has one. So how did you come up with the design for the boo box? And after getting a couple under your belt, would you change anything for future boo boxes?
So yeah, I came up with the design because I wanted somewhere to store all my kit, and I wanted to be able to roll with it somewhere and have it kind of weatherproof and rugged. And again, having a construction background, I'm like, I got to build a case for this thing. So I probably put more effort and time into that than I should have. But the design's just kind of free flowing. I knew what I wanted, and with a lot of the things I build, or even with writing, at some point my brain checks out and I just keep going, and I kind of see stuff, and at the end of it I look and go, oh, that's pretty cool, and you keep tweaking it and keep working. But yeah, I've been working with my hands for so many years and built so many things that it does not to sound cocky or pretentious, but it's one of those things that all the things I have to do in my daily life, like use computers, send emails, hop on meetings, that all takes sense of brain power and things I hate, because I effectively for about 20 years avoided computers very successfully, being in construction. And then I screwed up and went in the office and I became a manager, and then a division manager, and then a director, and before you know it, you got to use these things all the time. So when I'm using my hands and I'm building things, my brain's gone. I'm sitting there, whatever thing that makes you create things, amuse, whatever else it is, I'm tapped in and I just start going. So the design for it is 100% functional, like everything else I design. I wanted a place to store all my things that could get thrown in the back of a truck and not fall apart and not get beat up.
I love that.
And I also wanted, when you opened it, to get that cool Pulp Fiction, briefcase effect of some lights turning on and going, oh man.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
So yeah,
100%.
I had the privilege of making one for the Ecto Manhattan this year that we delivered on Ghostbusters Day. That was a harrowing experience to get that. It was a little bit of a crunch time. He kind of started talking to me maybe a couple months prior or a month prior to that, like, so can we get it for Ghostbusters Day? And I'm like, dear God, man. So what was interesting about that is I roughly know the dimensions of the inside of an Ecto, but I don't own a 1959 Cadillac Meteor, and I've only ever seen them for very short amounts of time. So if you watch that video that Ghost One Mod shot for me, that was fantastic. It ends with us putting that crate into the back of the Ecto One, and I'm telling you, I was sweating, because that was the first time we picked it up. He's filming it, and the thing fit like a glove and went right in the door shut. And I'm like,
amazing,
perfect,
dude. Fix it in post if it doesn't.
Yep.
Fix it in post.
Yeah, I can't fix it in post for the guy I delivered it to, though. That was his only vehicle to get it home. I was very happy it fit between all of the processors and EMF
What a
scrubbers
cool
and
video,
everything else he
too.
had in there.
I mean, to
Yeah.
deliver it to the firehouse and pop it in the back of an Ecto 1. I can't imagine how that would have felt.
So we were fighting everything that day. I had just finished our first audio story that we put up on YouTube. We launched it that night. I was literally editing that morning and uploading it the day we were driving to New York City. Then we get to New York. We get to the hotel. It's downpouring. It's sunny for 5 seconds. It's downpouring. So I'm like, we got to go like 8 blocks with this thing. I'm like, just don't. Like, it's all the labels on it are waterproof, but they're not like, submersive. It's fresh
they're,
paint.
They're not amphibious.
Yeah. You can't put them in a swimming
resistant,
pool.
not waterproof.
Yeah.
Right. And all the reflective, like everything was done that week. And I was just like, dear God, do not have this all fall apart before I get it to my guy. So yeah, it was an adventure and a half for sure.
A pretty successful test.
Yeah. Wasn't so hard, was it?
Right?
Wasn't such a chore.
Yeah, it wasn't such a chore. Well, I do have to say, dude, I'm so excited, Archer. Yeah, no need to be sorry you're late. We're happy to have you here, man. Thank you for joining us. As always, it's good to see you. Yeah. Another related question from Tony. When is the next audio story coming out?
So the next story is done. Pretty much. Been full, like I said, full tilt crazy with Halloween and everything else and my real job. So hopefully looking to get that done over the next couple months and get that out to you guys. You're going to hear some familiar names in it. Maybe some Ecto Ordnance members on this podcast. Maybe some other ones might be showing up and making an appearance. But this one is going to be full on action. We're getting into some heavy stuff pretty quick. So
hell yes.
Sweet. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah. I will speak for Rob and I will say we are ready to believe you, Doc. Yeah, hit us up. That sounds like a ton of fun. Anytime you need extra voices in a thing, we are there with bells on. Yeah, thank you for asking that.
Got right now,
or not. I mean,
you got almost got like the bone saw thing going on. You got a little
right
bit,
bone saw.
Yeah,
bone saw is ready.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I love it. Yeah, Ghost Rumble Mod just begging not to be killed. Yeah, is there like a Ghostbusters version of a red shirt?
So it's funny you say that. They're
wearing right now.
Yeah. Go
Bullseye.
Go to
Bullseye
the
is
boarding
the red
party.
shirt.
You guys go to the boarding party. You'll be fine. Just
Yeah.
I don't have a name. Somebody tell me my name.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's get out of here before someone kills Guy.
I'm Guy. Something that always kind of hit me, especially as I got a little bit older, with Ghostbusters. The whole movie's a whirlwind. They get into it. They're seeing things they couldn't believe they're seeing. The first movie, it all gets up to that climax on the rooftop and they're going against the god. And when they look over at each other and it's just like, nice working with you. See you on the other side. I fully believe those guys are ready to die.
100%. Absolutely.
And that's one of those things as a kid, it was kind of like, they're throwing away a line there. But really it's like, nope, they're ready to do what they got to do to get this across the line. It's probably not going to have them there afterwards.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. That's the vibe I get as well. They didn't expect to come out the other end. So what you're saying is they are all red shirts.
Yeah.
No, I love that.
I'm going to be one hell of a goddamn ghost, though. It's going to be great.
Right?
We trap our own the first. And we just take care of that right away.
Yeah. See, Archer will be crewman number 6. I will be Ensign Ricky. Yeah.
Ensign Ricky.
Yeah. Speaking of not necessarily red shirts, but do you have a favorite favorite Ghostbuster among all of the various shows?
It's kind of an impossible thing to answer for me, to be honest.
Which
for you.
child's your favorite?
Tell me which of your children is your favorite.
I have none. So, yeah, with Ghostbusters, they all have their own attributes. I think the greatest thing about the first two movies and the video game, which I consider the third movie,
100%.
yeah,
Same here.
They are a team, and they all complement each other. And despite some psychomagnetic slime interference, they don't get on each other's case as hard. They're all there to show up and do a job. Very ball busty, very fun, very camaraderie. One of the main things about Ghostbusters that's so great is there isn't infighting and bickering and holding things over each other's heads. It's a team effort from the beginning, and everybody brings something different to it, and that's why it's such a good collaborative effort. There isn't that big looming thing of drama or anything else. So my favorite Ghostbuster, I think I like them all for their respective roles, but I don't have a favorite one.
Mhm.
I mean, Egon's he's the brain. He's the one that's strictly science from the beginning. He's a skeptic. He wants to have these things all exist for a reason in there. You got Ray. He's the heart of the Ghostbusters. He's going to follow anyone because they tell them there's a sponge migration somewhere. He's going to go check it out. You got
Migrated
Venkman.
a foot and a half.
Yeah, come on. Venkman is the salesman. He's the voice. He's the mouthpiece. He's the one getting out in front of everybody and the promoter. And you got Winston, who's, in his words, sex appeal, but also just the hardworking guy that shows up to do the job. He doesn't have a college degree. He didn't, get kicked out of the university. He's a guy that's showing up going, there's a steady paycheck in it. Do whatever you say, which resonates with me the hardest. Especially just being a guy that got into the trades and showed up and went, what do we got to do? Okay. And you're going to pay me? Yeah, that works.
Yeah, 100%. Well, you heard it here first. Doc has a very bright future in politics ahead of him. Which I love the answer because, yeah, it's kind of an impossible question, which is why I like asking it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like for me, I have to say it's Egon.
Sure.
He's always the one that resonated with me. And I absolutely get a little misty-eyed every time I watch Afterlife.
Sure.
But yeah, I love them all, but Egon is the one that always.
All right, let's not get Jamie to cry, but let's talk for a second.
Not live on camera, please.
Getting verklempt.
Yeah,
Talk yourselves.
Yeah.
The Civil War was non civil nor war.
Oh, war, discuss.
Discuss. It's like butter. So,
Perfect. I love it.
I have qualms with Afterlife. I think what they did with Egon was awesome, and it was nice, and it was the only way they could do it. No weird voice. They didn't try to have him interact too much. But I have a gripe. Egon Spangler is never seen in a Ghostbusters flight suit without his collar up. And his ghost did not have his collar up. And I want to know what the hell's with that.
That is an excellent call.
That's my favorite gripe of them ever. That's great.
I love that so much.
Why did he pop a collar?
He actually fixed Trevor's collar to put it down.
Strange. Because that's not his style. He always has a popped collar no matter what.
Or maybe he's just like, hey, stop trying to steal my look, kid.
Yeah. But yeah, his apparition did not have a popped collar, and I was like, what the hell?
That's a great call out. Yeah.
I demand an answer to this.
Weird.
It is weird.
Yeah.
Hairless cats. Weird.
Yeah. That's so little inside baseball. Peachy Chris is my partner. We have 2 Ghostbusters 2 sayings that are daily occurrences in my household. One is weird. You can't say weird in my house without one of us repeating it in Bill Murray's voice after he holds up hairless cats. The other one is everything you're doing is bad, and I want you to know this. Yeah. Just
I make pretty good cocktails, don't I?
I love Janosch.
Yeah,
He's so
he's the
freaking
best.
funny.
He is the
Oh
best.
man.
Yeah, we say that quite often around here too. That's one of those that I would say that line floats in my head as a transient thought at least once a week, especially during my day job. Just want to walk up to someone who's working for me. I'll sneak behind them. Everything you're doing is bad. I want you to know this.
Yeah. Yeah, same here.
It's just
Tried
nothing
using
more
that as a teacher,
just
it
like
didn't work.
finite and perfect with that. It's almost like if I got to do it myself, I don't need you. But yeah, Janosch is the man. Great little Carpathian man.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that Peter McNichol kind of just came up with that lore on his own. And like the silly accent, the non-recognizable or regional accent.
It's very Moldovan, very just like it's something in there. You figured out.
Yeah. But yeah, he just made it up that the reason why he's connected to this painting is he is Carpathian.
Yeah.
I love that.
He's got
that bit of
Carpathian
like,
kitten loss. He just misses his kitten. When I saw that dude in Addams Family Values and he didn't have an accent
so
as a
funny.
kid, my brain was broken.
Right? And he's a completely different character in Addams
Completely.
Family Values. Hilarious also in that movie, but holy crap. Yeah, completely different. Yeah, what a great actor. I love that guy.
I do have a movie question.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it's usually inevitable when talking to Ghostbusters, but thoughts on 2016 Ghostbusters? Because I enjoyed it. I actually have had fun with it, but I think I enjoyed it for the wrong reasons. But
Are there any wrong reasons if you enjoy it, Rob?
It doesn't. Yeah, everything's very subjective.
Yeah.
I want you to remember this next time we talk about Waterworld.
I like Waterworld.
Okay, that's
Get
you.
some.
Oh man.
I was at the perfect age where I thought the smokers were crazy, the fake eye, the whole diving in the ocean, him being half fluke person. I didn't know what was going on. He was drinking his own pee through the filtration system. I was on board. I don't care. That was a weird, strange
like
movie.
the taste.
Yeah. That I liked as a kid, but there are so many bad movies that I love that are just in there. I will say, most unfortunately like music, and I'm just old now, so that's fine. I don't get it, right? But yeah, there's been a steady decline in a lot of things, and sometimes me and my wife will spot check an old movie to be like, is this as good as we remember? Like, or is it bad? We were just kids, and then we put it on, and we're like, man, that was so much better than I remember.
Right.
There was a reason I loved that movie, and then
it's a bit of a roll of the dice, though, right?
It is. I mean, I to be honest, I really haven't been shocked by many things recently that we've rewatched. It's more of just a love fest of getting back into things. Me and my wife took a nice little that trip. We went to Salem and we stayed in a hotel while we were down there, and we put on the original Highlander because neither of us could remember the entire thing. All we really remembered is Sean Connery played the best Spaniard in the entire world. His accent was spot on.
Spot on.
We got through that movie, and yeah, you're like crying halfway through of it because, oh my God, what a story. And then it gets to the end, you're like, Jesus Christ, Highlander is awesome. That's why I loved this the first time I saw it.
Yeah, let's watch Highlander 2.
No.
Right?
Full stop. But yeah, the quest for money, which is a lot of these things these days.
The quest for more money.
But when 100%. you see a movie that is a writer director single vision, which a lot of these things were. I mean, look at Cameron's movies back in the day and stuff. Even his adaptations. I mean, who makes a better sequel than James Cameron? I don't know. But those are the things that drive you into movies. Now, on the other spectrum, the new Ghostbusters 2016. I feel like that movie was an SNL skit.
Yes.
And I don't feel like it had any of the love and heart or character building that is what Ghostbusters 1, 2, and the video game were. And does that mean I need to burn it in effigy and hate everyone who likes it? No, I don't care. Like what you like. I like what I like.
Yeah. But
having said that, I mean, if you're going to say things that are inherently wrong, like it's better than the other movies, then we might have a conversation. Not one I care to have, but
like what you like.
It's just what it is. Yeah, like what you like. Don't push it on me. Like it's the same thing. Like what you do in your house is your business.
Yeah.
Don't make me have to like it. So 2016, I don't know. I think I might have made it through it, but probably not. And it was just because it was that skit. But there are so many movies these days that are just stamped out remakes, marketing guaranteed. They look at it from a financial perspective and go like, it's got name recognition. We won't have to do shit for marketing. Get that thing out here now. It's going to make X amount of dollars. So they just crank them out.
Yeah.
But what about the props in that movie, like the weapons and all that sort of stuff? As a guy who does focus on all those things, how would those compare to some of the original stuff that we see? Because I felt some of it was creative, some of it was kind of not as realistic as it could have been, but some of it was kind of neat. Some of the design was pretty cool.
Yeah, as an uber geek when it comes to the kit and the props, yeah, they didn't make sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it's that skit version of something of like, hey, wouldn't it be cool if we did this?
Yeah,
wouldn't it be cool if we had, 2 pistols? Okay, that's kind of cool. Like, how are we going to work with it? Well, I'm going to use one, then I'm going to lick it. Probably shouldn't do that. Probably bad.
Yeah.
Here's a case in point, right? Here's something that I've seen in these later movies, and that comes up that boggles my mind. Every single thing the guys are wearing in the first movie has not only a function, but it has a basis in reality, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they're wearing Nomex flight suits. Why would they wear a Nomex flight suit? It's fire retardant.
Yeah.
Why would they need that? Well, they're shooting a concentrated beam of protons and photons, which are highly flammable. So you're not going to want to light on fire. So a Nomex flight suit, that makes sense. Gloves they're wearing. They're wearing class 0 electrical rated gloves.
Right.
Why? Again, let's not burn ourselves with 1,000 kilovolts of electricity coming out of the tip of a proton wand. So that makes sense. Their boots, it goes on and on from each piece of kit. The belt gizmo, it's a bank of resistors in case the pack overloads and there's transient voltage going everywhere. Your belt gizmo's like a sacrificial diode that's supposed to explode before you do, right? In the second movie, they wear the pass alarm system, the lifeguard system. Those are real things. Those are firefighters wear those.
That was a good touch. I like those.
Yeah, they have. It totally makes sense, right? Because if somebody goes down, especially wearing all that gear, they probably can't get back up right away.
Yeah.
So the way that those things work, and I don't know if you've ever seen any of the real ones. I actually have one. If you stop moving for 30 seconds, so loud. It's a 90 decibel blast.
Yeah.
If you ever see firefighters training, they have more sophisticated stuff now. If you see them like working on one of those sheds they light on fire and then they put out and stuff, if you watch them in line to do that, you'll see all of them doing this weird shaking thing periodically. And it's so that their 100%. Pass system does not go off. Because if they don't do that, that thing's going to start ringing. But also, if you have one on your belt and you need to get through a con quick, a couple rips on that thing and people get out of your way. It's pretty sweet. So yeah, when I see someone using a proton pack or a trap or any of these things without any of the PPE, it's kind of like, sure, yeah, you could, put your face in a wood chipper once or twice and maybe you make it out with most of your face, but not something you're going to roll out and do consistently.
No, I feel like that's got to be part of Dan Aykroyd's involvement.
Oh yeah.
In the writing of the movies is he's actively thinking about that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like he like you listen to him talk about even all the gear on top of the Ecto-1 and everything is something theoretically possible that they would actually use if ghostbusting were real. Like he's thought about it all.
Particle detection, subatomic particles. Like he dove full tilt into it based off of like one parapsychology pamphlet he saw at his ancestral farmhouse that his dad was getting.
Yeah.
And the idea behind it was like, if ghosts are made of these subatomic particles, not PKE yet, because that wasn't a thing yet. He kind of made that up. Although psychokinesis is a thing that was theorized. And if they are made of these elements and you bombarded them with these elements, you could freeze one, is what he thought. And then it went from there, you know what I mean? So, I mean, yeah, the whole theory behind all this and making it practical was 100% Dan Aykroyd, and then on top of bringing Dan Aykroyd back to the ground was Harold Ramis.
Yeah,
of going like,
absolutely.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool. We're not going to space. Come on, man. Come on.
Yeah. I love Ghost One More Mods comment here, because that's when, you know, with Ghostbusters 2016 and with like Star Wars, depends on who
yeah.
you're talking about, like with the prequels or the sequels. If I didn't necessarily like something, I don't want to crap on it to someone who potentially does.
Right.
So this Ghost One More Mods comment here is exactly the route I like taking in those kinds of discussions. Is one, I don't want to make you feel bad for liking something that I didn't like. So that's my question: is what do you like about it? Share that with me, and let's talk about that.
Sure.
And this is such a great call out about this movie having amazing sound design. Yeah, I love hearing about stuff like that from people who appreciate that. And there's another one here. This was something that was very cool that I noticed when we were watching, Rob. The changing aspect ratio and then using that for effect of like the particle beam, or like the proton streams, or the ghosts kind of breaking the barriers. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And it was inventive. I don't think we've seen it a ton in movies before, and that was pretty cool. 100%. I love talking about stuff like that, even in a movie that you didn't necessarily like. There's always something to like in it. Yeah, that's great call outs. But yeah, and Charm City Ghostbusters coming back with the equipment, double-edged sword.
Yeah,
seemed like it was well researched and kept the homemade vibe. 100%. I love that they kept that vibe, but it's a step backwards in engineering being so exposed. Absolutely. It as dangerous as the equipment looks in the original Ghostbusters movies, 2016, the equipment looked more dangerous.
Yeah.
And maybe that's what they're going for. I can't say. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, what a fool's errand to try and follow up a movie like Ghostbusters 1 or Ghostbusters 2 and try and make a sequel or a spin-off or a reboot. Like I can't imagine how difficult that would be from a writing or design perspective to try and follow that up.
And the thing that always like confounds me with these things is like, you could have made a movie about a team of women that went out and busted ghosts. You just don't have to call it Ghostbusters. You could have made a storyline where they went out and did this kind of investigation and made their own kit and did these things. But it's always the easy grab of, but name recognition. Like, yeah, I know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough. And I like for
Shawshank Redemption 2.
Right?
He crawls back in.
Yeah. Like that's the thing. Like all power to Jason Reitman for Afterlife and following it up. I feel like he really nailed what they were going for, and in the task of kicking things off in a bit of a new direction, I thought he did really well given the task before him.
They put a lot of things in motion in that movie that I was hoping were going to pay off in Frozen Empire that didn't.
Yeah.
They went.
Well, hopefully we'll get that in future movies.
Right. I mean, they, at one point, they're saying, like, he finds the map of Somerville and it's in cuneiform, which is like a Sumerian text.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. And then they start talking about, they're smelting the selenium out of there. And you're like, oh, okay. And then they get to Gozer's Temple and there's all those dates. All right, man, I'm down. Tell me why. Tell me how. Like, where's this going to lead? What was so important about the selenium? I know it was a superconductor that was meant to bring all this stuff in. Like, there was so many tales and different lines they went with that I was like, keep going, please.
Yes.
Leave me hanging, 100%. Man. Even the town,
yeah.
Sumeria, Somerville. Like,
yeah.
I mean, it's layered in there everywhere. And he did a really good job with how funny and how many things were tied in, even to, Gruberson playing the kid's Cujo, before Vince eventually comes after him and gets him, like the foreshadowing, the different things in it. I feel I feel that was a tough job to handle, and he did respect on both sides of it pretty well.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I was just hoping for more of that dorky lore stuff that he was cracking into with Evo Shandor and some of those dates and how he would know that, and maybe explain why that happens in that time cycle.
It would be nice to get into that a little bit more for sure. I appreciate the direction they went with Frozen Empire, making it kind of like an episode of Real Ghostbusters. But yeah, I agree, Doc. It would be nice if they got a little bit more into the lore and the backstory of things. Yeah, goes one more mod's comment about name recognition is like making a Ford EV and calling it a Mustang.
Yeah,
that made me giggle. 100%. That's what it is. It's just trading on the name. But this is also a really good point too from Charm City Ghostbusters. Love lore, but happy to not have GB turn into a lost mystery box. That's fair.
Star Wars.
Star Wars. Yeah, Star Trek or whatever we have. Like 100%. That's a slippery slope for sure. I feel like it's a little cheap writing wise, just to like play on people's curiosity and their psychology to get them hooked and interested, and like just write a good story.
Yeah,
that's all we ask for.
That's all we ask for. Care,
right? Yeah, and yeah, Afterlife did that really well. Just the care and attention. I feel like we probably should start wrapping things up. I'm having a ton of fun with this conversation. We may need to have a follow up in the future, Doc. But yeah, we are running out of time, so we should start bringing things to a close on this one. I have so many questions that I didn't get to, so I will keep those in my back pocket for the future. Doc,
excellent.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Doc,
for joining us. This was so much fun just talking Ghostbusters with you. It's clear that the love is there, and yeah, it's one of my favorite things just as a nerd to do is just really get into it and just nerd out about this kind of stuff. So yeah, thank you for your time and joining us. Doc, where can people find you?
So yeah, you can go to toolsandtalentprops.com. That'll get you links over to our mods and our merch. Also, you can dig into some EOC lore over there, Ecto Ordnance Corps lore. You can also get us on Etsy, and we are active on Instagram at toolsandtalentprops.com and Ecto Ordnance. And then if you like some of the stuff we've been talking about and you like audiobooks in particular, head over to YouTube and check out Ecto Ordnance Corps. We have an original story up there based in a paranormal universe you might be familiar with some equipment you might be familiar with, and some equipment maybe you're not so familiar with. But yeah, it's a fun little thing that we're doing to try to keep things alive and just have fun with the universe we all love.
Awesome. Yeah, and keep up the amazing work, Doc. I'm so excited to see what you come up with next.
Lots and lots of stuff.
Rob, how about you, sir? Where can we find you?
You can find me resting my voice, but on the Outer Rim Rookie. It's our YouTube show where I'm showing off things like my AT-AT driver costume, Scout Trooper costume, all the sort of stuff, building costumes for the 501st, Rebel Legion, and some of the fun things that we do, raising money for charities like we did this weekend. We raised $1,500 for the Greater Vancouver Food Bank, and I will be putting a video together for Jamie soon here, which he's going to talk about. Yeah, so check us out there. And we do once in a while some live streams for charity and just for fun. And I know that some people may not like Power Washing Simulator 2, but that is my new favorite game, and I've been streaming that lately. So I'm busting slime ghosts there, I guess. So.
Awesome. All right. And last but not least, you can find me right here on the Generation X-Wing podcast YouTube channel, typically every Tuesday night with Ready to Believe. We're still doing reviews of episodes of Real Ghostbusters. We do have a kind of a rewatch and a deeper chat about Frozen Empire that we haven't we never really got into when the movie came out. We did a quick kind of review just out of the theater, Rob and I. But yeah, we never really got into it with the group. So that's coming up next, as well as some more unboxing things. So next Tuesday, I will be unboxing the Peter Venkman Real Ghostbusters Mondo figure. I am so excited. And then after that, I think we have an interview scheduled with someone who worked on Ghostbusters Afterlife,
Nice.
which I am super excited for. We are confirming, but that is the tentative date. We will let you all know when it's locked in. Thank you all. Again, everyone who's in the chat, if you're watching this after the fact, we love you all and we appreciate it. Thank you for the activity in the chat. It makes things so much more fun. And thank you as always for your support.
And link
With
below
that-
as well. Don't forget the link below. Yeah.
We do have a link to toolsandtalent.com in the description below, as well as a discount code. If you are needing to pick anything up for Halloween, you're too late now, but don't at Doc is basically what I'm saying there. But
2 more
there's
days.
never a wrong time to kit up as a
That's
Ghostbuster. Thank you all so much. Have a good night, everyone.
Happy Halloween, everybody.
Bye. Happy
Halloween.